Hello, and welcome to the This Happened Today in History podcast for February 15th. I am your host, Mr. Miller. This podcast will cover a number of topics that happened on this date in history. Please visit the podcast webpage at thishappenedtoday.buzzsprout.com to download the notes page. This will help you organize the information as well as develop your own ideas on how these events change the world around us. If you are interested in hearing more, please consider subscribing so you will not miss out on what happened tomorrow in history. Event number 1 happened in 1937. Both union and non-union workers of Guide Lamp and Deco Remy factories had returned to work on this day. The decision was made in complete peace after a short period of violent protests that had caused military troops and law enforcement to be sent to Anderson, Indiana. The strike in Anderson began on December 31st, 1936, as GM did not recognize the union, and there were a number of violent incidents between pro-union and anti-union workers. Martial law had been put in place because of an incident at a local tavern. Shots were fired, and it was made known that a group of strike sympathizers were on their way to Anderson from Flint, Michigan. The Indiana State Police and 1,000 Indiana National Guard troops were given control of the city and surrounding area to help restore the peace. Things slowly returned to normal, and martial law was finally lifted on February 23rd. In 1952, more than 1 million people gathered in London to mourn the death of King George VI. He was buried in St. George's Chapel in Windsor Castle. King George was the father of the current Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II. He was crowned the King of the United Kingdom in 1937 and was a symbolic leader for his people during World War II. He saw action while serving with the Royal Navy on HMS Collingwood in World War I. He joined the Royal Air Force and was certified as a pilot. During World War II, he frequently visited towns and villages to help build morale and even traveled to other areas that had been ravaged during the war. When he passed away, his daughter, Queen Elizabeth II, took the throne at the age of 27. In 1967, J. Frank Duryea passed away at the age of 97. He had established the Duryea Motor Wagon Company with his brother Charles. Frank and Charles built what was considered to be the very first gas-powered car in the United States. It was a one-cylinder, 4-horsepower vehicle that was first demonstrated in 1892. In November of 1895, Frank won the very first automobile race that ever took place on United States soil. The 54-mile race took him 10 hours and 23 minutes, and he traveled at an average speed of 5 1/4 miles per hour. When he passed away, he was the last of the automotive industry's founding fathers. You have been listening to the This Happened Today in History podcast for February 15th. I thank you for listening, and I hope that you have enjoyed learning about historical events from the past. Thank you to the following websites for their information regarding today's topics: thepeoplehistory.com, the UAWA strike from the heraldbulletin.com, King George VI from biography.com, and information about Frank Duryea from history.com. The music used as the background track for this podcast is Americana, created by Kevin MacLeod on Incompetech.com. If you enjoyed this information and would like to hear more, please consider subscribing, as this will keep the historical events in your feed in the morning for each day. I hope you have a great day.